Ishuboy Nguyen in the house, back with another bang-on video. Well, Alexandre Lacazette. I've got specific news about Alexandre Lacazette and more on it. Keep watching the video till the end and make sure you subscribe if you haven't. And not only this, let's talk about something really better because Juventus want to include a player in a deal for Alexandre Lacazette because talks are ongoing between the club. But Arsenal will not finalize any deal with Juventus or any other interested parties until the season is complete. Talks have already taken place with Juventus for Lacazette, but Atletico are willing to include a player in deal with, which could be Thomas Partey. Yes, Thomas Partey to Alexandre Lacazette. Thomas Partey to Arsenal and Alex Lacazette to Atletico Madrid is still on. But Arsenal are waiting that the season gets over with and they are definitely free to think more on it. Well, not only this, Alex Lacazette could leave Arsenal this summer after Inter Milan. It is above all Juventus, Turin and Atletico Madrid who are concretely positioned to try to attract the French international striker. Well, Arteta says that the club has to play in Europe. This club has to play in the Champions League. If we don't have the choice to do that, it's better to play in the Europa League than not to play in Europe at all. That is my personal opinion. Well, completely agreed. More on it. Keep watching the video. We have Emiliano Martinez who praises the whole of interview. I've got it. But first, let's talk about Matteo Guendouzi. Now, what is happening with Matteo Guendouzi at Arsenal? Let's talk more about it because Matteo Guendouzi was called to a meeting with Arteta and Edu Gaspar after the Brighton game but didn't impress. Arteta's decision to exclude Guendouzi is understood to be based on more than just this incident, which is seen as the latest in a series of indiscretions. So it's not just one thing. The problem is Matteo Guendouzi has a series of fallouts with the manager. Not only this, Ornstein goes on saying that while there is admiration for his talent among Arteta's coaching staff, some at Arsenal feel he has already been afforded enough chances. Arsenal have explored the possibility of using him in a swap deal. So you cannot. It wouldn't be surprising, according to Ornstein, that Matteo Guendouzi could be used in a swap deal to get a different player. So I don't understand that. But moving on. Well, talks have already taken place about, as I said, about Thomas Partey and about it. But Mikel Arteta has spoken about the whole of Europe situation. He says, I actually mentioned that, but talking about swap deals, he says, we have to be open to different situations. And I think the market will give us the opportunity to do so in certain deals like this swap deals. But at the moment, I cannot comment on any of that. And let's talk about Emiliano Martinez. The whole of the interview where he spoke about Arteta, he says, we knew Mikel would be a good manager. He knows what position you have to be in every department. And you are in or you are out. You're with him or without him. And there's no discussion on that. We know if we want to play and we want to be at this club, we have to be on board. That's good for the team because no one can relax. And talking about his Arsenal career, Emiliano Martinez says, it's been up and down in my Arsenal career, to be honest. There was something I had inside me that said, why am I not getting my chance in the club that I love? But God always puts you in the right place at the right time. Well, not only this, let's talk about the whole of update of Dayot Upamecano, what the player thinks apart from what we heard from Minslav, RB Leipzig CEO. Dayot Upamecano's update is the player wants to leave RB Leipzig this summer, but doesn't want to go to clubs amongst Europe's best, where he'd be 4th or 5th choice in hierarchy. He wants to accumulate playing time in good European club and ideally would want Champions League football. So you can understand Arsenal looks like a very good destination for Dayot Upamecano, but will he land at Arsenal? Only time will tell. Well, talking about it, today's training, ladies and gentlemen, we had the following players attending it. It was Emiliano Martinez, Matt Macy, Hector Bellerin, Kieran Tierney, Rob Holding, Cedric Soares, Mustafi, Luis, Kolasinac, Clark, Medley, Swanson, Ceballos, Torreira, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Willock, Xhaka, Saka, Smith, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Nelson, and Nketiah. Well, talking about it, David Ornstein has opened up about whether Arsenal, the reality of Arsenal actually going and buying Allan Saint-Maximin. Well, he said Arsenal are not interested in Allan Saint-Maximin. He's not a target that they are pursuing. Again, I don't know if he was somewhere on their list, but that is one I think we can squash off. So Arsenal, Allan Saint-Maximin to Arsenal is never going to happen. Well, at least for now. Well, Arsenal are targeting, according to David Ornstein, Arsenal are targeting a holding or box-to-box midfielder, and their preference is Thomas Partey. That's a very good news, isn't it? But let's talk about Arsenal's new pre-match range. Yes, the pre-match range, which looks a thing of beauty. It's like comparing us with AC Milan. It is a thing of beauty. I'm gonna tell you that look on David Luiz and that look that it creates on Pepe, Mesut Ozil. Wow, it's now available at Arsenal Direct, so you can actually order it online. Arsenal are in contacts with Real Madrid over keeping Dani Ceballos at the club for the next 2020-2021 season. Well, let's see if that's going to be happening or not. But moving on, David Ornstein has spoken about Thiago Alcantara. He says there has been interest from Arsenal and Chelsea in the past. Whether that materializes this summer, I'm not too sure. London has always appealed to him and his wife as a stop in his career. That could happen, isn't it? But moving on, Alan Shearer's Premier League Team of the Week features Arsenal's Shkodran Mustafi and Bukayo Saka, as well as Mikel Arteta as the Manager of the Week. And that is very, very beautiful. Well, not only this, here's the most positive news for you guys. I'm sorry, it's not a positive news, but it's a good news that there were no positive results in the latest round of testing of coronavirus in the Premier League. Isn't that beautiful news? Well, that is really great, isn't it? Thank God, none of the footballers tested positive, or the staff. I'm really good. I know these guys are actually risking their lives. Probably they are actually maintaining a lot of things, and especially the safety rules, and I'm liking that. But more importantly, these guys are safe, and that is what I want. Well, not only this, Emiliano Martinez has spoken about Inaki Kana. Well, his goalkeeping coach at Arsenal. He says Inaki is a hardworking man and he has shown us from the first day what he wants from his goalkeepers. It's been really good, to be honest. He works really hard with us. We are dead when we finish the training sessions with him. So you can understand the intensity what Inaki Kana takes them to, and Emiliano Martinez credits his success for now to Inaki Kana. Moving on, Arsenal have set an asking price of 40 million euros for Matteo Guendouzi. Atletico, Inter and Barcelona are all interested. The player has asked to leave and Arsenal are willing to sanction his exit. This is one of the rumors. I don't understand why Matteo Guendouzi has to leave. The guy has to stay. He has to prove his worth. I mean, come on. You're a different manager. His faith was different. This one is a new one. You have to trust the process. You have to give you have to try to give something to the manager. But if you can't, probably it might be the time to leave. I won't accept it. But moving out, Arsenal are also not against the whole idea of loaning Guendouzi as well. So it looks like Guendouzi could be on a loan next season. Well, not only this, talking about the whole swap deal, Simeone is a big fan. According to Charles Watts, Diego Simeone is a big fan of Lacazette, and obviously Atletico Madrid has Thomas Partey, a player Arsenal desperately want and who is quite keen on the move to the Emirates. So you look at that as a possible swap deal that could happen. So it could be. Yeah, it could be. Well, Bayer Leverkusen winger Moussa Diaby is attracting the interest of the big unnamed Premier League club, but the player is in no rush to leave the German side. He's a great talent, must say that. But moving on, well, talking about Matteo Guendouzi's Arsenal career, Ornstein says with him, there are certain non-negotiables. He speaks about Arteta, certain lines that cannot be crossed. Well, Juventus has been insistent as Atletico, the whole Lacazette issue, with the same idea in mind. An exchange, the name of the player has not been leaked yet, and the two opportunities are very similar for the French striker. So it looks like the French striker will leave Arsenal. Well, Arsenal tweeted out before the match day, Ian Wright. Oh, he looks beautiful, isn't it? Oh, lovely. Unbelievable. The legend. Well, Aubameyang has spoken about Bukayo Saka and Gabi's contracts. He says it was great for the club that Bukayo and Gabi signed new contracts last week. They have made a big impact at the club, even though they are only teenagers. It's funny for me looking back because at 18 I was really raw. There was a lot more for me to learn, and it took me a few years to really see my potential. But these boys, you can say the same about Joe and Eddie too. They already seem to have lots of mature attributes. Well, Bukayo Saka cannot forget the whole idea that night. He says that night I didn't sleep. Boom. That night, I swear, that night was one of the best nights of my life. Unbelievable. The memory down the lane of the latest Arsenal albums, you can check in probably in Arsenal's social media. You can actually search for them and make sure. Well, these were the news of the day. I hope you enjoyed whatever came your way. All the views and news and everything about Arsenal comes on this platform every single day, twice. So sit back, relax, and enjoy all the news that comes on this platform. I will see you in my next video. Until then, cheers, and don't forget to subscribe. Well, today is the match day. Go in my community box and let me know what you guys feel about who will win, who will get the 3 points, or whether it'll be points shared tonight at the Emirates. Just let me know who is going to get this game. I will see you in my next video. Until then, cheers.